Hey guys, welcome to another Salefreaks dropshipping video. This is part 2 of the product sourcing, product research, listing videos. And we're going to start off on eBay itself, okay? And then we're going to progress into using some softwares like Zik Analytics and how I use those softwares and how we can fully benefit from, again, I'll say it many times, using all the tools that we have available to us at all times, basically. So I'm in the UK, but it really doesn't matter. These methods, these ways you can do no matter which country you're selling from and which platform you're selling on. It all translates the same way. It works. Okay. So before we get into it, if you're watching this for the first time, you've maybe not jumped into dropshipping yet, or you haven't used Salefreaks before, check out salefreaks.com and check out the 100% free dropshipping course. If you found this video from YouTube or you found it from a Facebook group, you might know a little bit about Salefreaks, but there is a free dropshipping course which tells you how to use Salefreaks, and obviously keep an eye out for the rest of our videos. You can also start a trial with Salefreaks. Pay £1 or $1, get 7 days, and then start to get an idea of how to use the software. There's plenty of information, plenty of people out there to help you. We also have our monthly coaching calls and Q&As, and like I said, the community is just full of really helpful people, and I'm in there, Craig's in there, the other owner of Salefreaks. So it's just really, really beneficial. We want to help everyone grow and make some extra money using Salefreaks. So one of the most frequently asked questions that I always get, and I see people asking all the time, and I'll be honest, it really, really bugs me, is what should I list? What type of products should I list? What categories should I list from? I really don't know what to list is the general vibe. And I get that like starting dropshipping can be a bit overwhelming, and that might be a genuine question. But if we kind of take a step back from that, we can look at it very, very logically. Okay, so in the first video, if you haven't seen it, the first video I show you how to find profitable items using Salefreaks auto listers, coupon hunters, locators. It's really doing all the hard work for us. So actually, you actually don't even need to think about what type of products you need to list. You just list the products that we've already done the research for. But like I say, that can only take you so far. And to be a really good dropshipper, to make this business really, really profitable, you have to be able to understand what makes a product good, why you should be listing a certain product, and also just find all the other ways of getting these products to your store and making sales on them. And that involves using, I'll say it again, all the tools available to you, because you can only scale so far using auto listers and things like that. If you want to get into like the big boys league where you're listing 40, 50,000 items and you're doing sales like on this particular store here where you're hitting, almost £100,000, $125,000 in the last 90 days with an average of around 10% profits. That is, that's nothing short of amazing, to be honest. Personally, in my eyes, still to this day, this is one of my main stores. In Q4, this could be doing anywhere up to £4,000 worth of sales per day. But do I just use an auto lister? Do I just use Coupon Hunter? Absolutely not. I use everything. And it's just good to understand these things as well. So without even looking at Salefreaks, without looking at any software, let's go into eBay itself. eBay is the marketplace that we're selling on after all, okay? eBay want us to come to their marketplace and they want us to list their items or list our items, and they want us to make sales. Why do they want us to do that? Because that's their business model. They don't sell themselves, as in they don't sell their own products. They rely on third-party sellers to sell on their marketplace in order for them to make money, either via store fees, listing fees, and most importantly, where they make most of their income is the final value fee. So it's basically their commission on the sale like any other third-party marketplace. They're going to make a commission on the sale. So naturally they want us to do better. And why am I telling you that? Because they have tools on their website that can help us decide which particular products to sell. Now, that might not mean the specific product that we want to list, but it will give us some insight into what categories are working well on eBay, what's getting clicked on the most, and it can give us a little insight to where we can start looking for products, okay? So I can search product keywords in here for the last 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, whatever the case may be. I can also look at the Terrapeak sourcing insights. Now, this one for me is probably the most important because the product research page, okay, it'll tell you like specific products and things like that. But for this, I want to see the top categories, okay? Now, naturally, there's going to be some of these categories that aren't going to make sense to us, okay? But we're seeing like Audi cars, BMW cars, camper vans and motorhomes, okay? Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, I'm not going to be selling cars. I'm not going to be selling camper vans and motorhomes. But my brain goes to Audi or BMW, camper vans or motorhomes. That's the search volume. Now, they could be searching for a particular car part or an accessory or something like that. So my head says if people are searching for these brand names, it's not just that they're searching. I mean, out of how many people are actually searching eBay to buy cars? It's never been known as like, so that the reality is it could be such and such for an Audi A6, A4, such and such for a BMW 2 Series, petrol, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Camper van or motorhomes, you're not really going on eBay to find a camper van or motorhome. I mean, yes, you can sell them on there. Yes, it is a marketplace for that. But, I would be more thinking, okay, well, I'm not selling cars and camper vans and motorhomes. But what I can sell from a number of different suppliers is car parts, accessories, and things like that. And they're right up there, in those search options, okay? So let's move on. So we've got action figures, okay? Action figures in toys and games. eBay, naturally, you're going to get a lot of like older collector's items, action figures and things like that. But we can still list out of those categories from the new things. We can get them from Amazon. We can get them from George.com. There's probably action figures and things on AliExpress. Just be careful for, replicas and things like that. It's probably something I would avoid if sourcing from China, if I'm honest. But our big UK suppliers, absolutely no problem. Books. I know people that have full stores and all they do is list the books on Amazon onto their eBay stores. New condition, used condition, refurbished, whatever the case may be. Massive search volume. Coats, jackets, waistcoats. Great opportunity it's saying here. Dresses and women's clothing. Now, ordinarily, I don't list a lot of clothing because of the sizing, and you never really know. Every brand has different kind of sizings, and it's hard to deal with, and you might get a lot of returns and things like that. However, accessories like gloves, hats, scarves and things like that, good in the winter, not so good in the summer, but also, summer hats and things like that are probably going to be okay. And you've got golf clubs and sports and equipment. Again, we can source that kind of stuff from Amazon, absolutely no problem. Mobile phone and smartphones, okay, we might not be selling the actual mobile phone, but we can sell accessories. Again, more clothing, trainers, shoes, we can sell from Amazon, George, wherever. Again, more to do with the cars and things. We've got video games, vinyl records, women's handbags, wristwatches as well. Now, obviously, we sell a ton of different stuff, but if you're really struggling and you want to find, okay, what are people searching for the most on eBay, on the main platform that we are actually selling on, and we're focusing all our energy into selling on this platform, it's not a bad idea to go and find what people are actually searching for on eBay, their top categories. It's a no-brainer, but a lot of people don't think to actually look at these things. So you can sort by all different things. So you can sort by total sales, and I would go through these. I would go through these every now and again and just say, right, okay, well, what sort of categories can I be putting into the locator on Salefreaks, or what sort of things am I going to go out of my way and search for in these other suppliers? You know, we can see the search volume, we can see the active listings, we can see the sell-through rate. I mean, smartphones obviously always popular. We can go and change this up to see the biggest search rate. And remember, this is 30 days. We can look for 90 days. We can look for 6 months. And we're not looking to kind of say, okay, we're going to find, you know, a million winning products from doing this. But what we're going to get is we're going to get ideas. We're going to start getting, you know, a bit of inspiration of what to look for. And then it suddenly makes that, oh, what should I list? Or what should I sell? You know, question become a bit easier in our minds. And we can say, okay, well, this is the kind of thing that people are searching for on eBay. So let's, I mean, you can do this for any eBay site as well. So if you're selling, for example, a lot of global shipping items in France, for example, and people are going to eBay France and they're seeing what they can get shipped to them. I don't speak French, so you might have to translate, but you can see what they're searching for and maybe list some of the items like that as well if you do global shipping, you know. Same eBay Italy, any of those Europe ones, any of those ones, you know, makes sense, doesn't it? Top opportunities first. Go back into eBay.co.uk. And we can go in there and we can see various different things. So these are the best opportunities. So advertising signs, these are probably going to be more sort of personalized, customized kind of things. You see bread bins and kitchen storage. I mean, you know, this gives us more specific ideas. Clothes rails, candle lights and tea lights, cutlery storage, controllers and attachments for video games. What we should be looking for here, though, is the subcategory in these ones. Okay, so we've got storage solutions, we have candles and home and fragrances, we've got storage solutions. So you can see laundry supplies, video games, birds, bath and body, hair and styling. Okay, so now we're starting to build a picture here of, you know, 3 or 4 of those categories actually, you know, they're in like a storage section. So then, for example, you go into your eBay or you go into your Amazon and you start looking at home and kitchen. Okay. Very, very straightforward here. Very, very basic stuff. So home and kitchen, if we just search that without searching any specific term, we're probably going to have a subcategory of storage and organization. We go in here, bang, this gives us some inspiration of what we could maybe do as a locator scan, or maybe we go and find, you know, all the prime items that are 4 stars and above, and we start looking for the ones that have got the highest reviews, the most sales. You know, Amazon itself gives us a lot of information. You know, it will tell us how many particular items have sold. You know, if it's sold 10K in the past month, 9K in the past month, highly rated. You know, if people are buying it on Amazon and if eBay says, you know, people are searching for these particular products and in these particular niches, then there's a good chance that it sells. And all we can do is put things forward and list things that we believe has a good chance to sell. It's as simple as that. You know, we can go right down, and all of these opportunities here can be found within our suppliers, and we can go right through this. You know, there's pages and pages of stuff, of great opportunities. And this is eBay. Like I said at the beginning, this is the marketplace you're selling on. And this is eBay telling us these are the categories that are working well. These are where the biggest search volumes are. These are the biggest sell-through rates are. These are the products that people are searching for and buying on eBay. So it would be fair to say that that's a good place to start. Okay. So the next thing is, you know, like I say, how do you utilize these? Well, you know, storage seems to be massive at the minute. Okay, so I'm guessing like indoor storage. I've done it myself. You know, it's like spring cleaning. Okay, so people are in that kind of, you know, they've been in their house all winter. They've gathered all this stuff after Christmas and whatever else. Now it's time to kind of start thinking, right, let's start tidying up and let's start getting things into storage or into the attic, the roof space, whatever you want to call it. So naturally, this time of year is good for that. So you'll see these transitions, so it'll not be the same things all the time. It'll be based on the last 30 days, okay? So what you could then do is translate this. Let's use storage solutions or storage for an example, okay? And what we want to do is we want to start getting in at the beginning of these trends. So I think storage and all your home and stuff like that probably does quite well all year round. But let's have a look at Google Trends. So Google Trends is the next thing that I want to go on, and I want to see, is it the right time of year to be listing a product or a category or a subcategory? Okay, and I want Google Trends to almost tell me, right, this is the right time to be looking for this stuff. Now, you don't need to get bogged down in kind of going through every single category. You can break it down into seasons. So we're not going to be sitting today on the 30th of April thinking, when's the best time to list Christmas trees? We're going to start thinking, right, September time, is it the right time to start listing Christmas stuff? Bang, search it, we'll see it. Okay, so based on the fact that eBay is saying storage solutions, let's have a look. So storage solutions search term. Okay, and we're looking over the last 12 months. Okay, so by the looks of this, it's fairly good all year round. Like I said, it's fairly good. Okay, now you'll see that there is a bit of a boost or a bit of a downturn in December. People are more focused on, like I say, your quarter fours. They're buying their Christmas trees. They're getting everything out of storage. They're then amassing a ton of new stuff over Christmas, especially if you've got kids. Yeah, biggest pile of like stuff over Christmas. Then you have to start thinking about putting it away again. You buy more Christmas decorations. You've got more Christmas decorations that you need, and then suddenly they all have to go back into storage. So obviously, beginning of December here, people start looking at it a bit more. You can look back at the last 5 years and see, I mean, it goes up and down. It's fairly steady. Obviously, we've got the pandemic here. It seems like everything took a jump up during the pandemic. Probably a lot of storage as well. Probably a lot of people, again, they're inside their house. They're thinking, right, what can I do? I'm so bored. We'll start tidying things up, basically. But as you can see, it kind of has a bit of a spike beginning of the year, and then kind of stays steady again. It's the same kind of spike. It seems to be that kind of after Christmas, right, need to sort the house out kind of vibe. And that's what goes on. But as you can see, it's quite a steady all year round. It doesn't go to nothing. Whereas, example, if you were looking for Christmas trees, it'll have a very different graph. So as you can see, literally no one's searching Christmas trees. And then once you get into September, bang, it's going up. And then obviously the end of November, that's when it's kind of peaking and then dropping off again, after Christmas. A couple of late to the party, people thinking, oh, I need to get the Christmas tree sorted. And then it just dies. Okay, so this is an example, a very easy example to say, if you were searching for a product and you said, okay, this really only starts to sell well at a certain period, I'm not going to list it during these periods here. Like I say, Christmas trees is a very, very simple black and white way of showing you this. But as you can see, storage solutions is like an all year rounder. Let's have a look at something else. So let's have a look at, I don't know, let's take some from the first page, because they're obviously going to be the most popular first. Let's have a look at people buying birdseed. It says it has a good search volume. And over the past 5 years, okay, so this one is a bit more up and down. And we can see where are the spikes. So spikes, they tend to be around this type of year now. And then again, a lot of people feeding the birds during the pandemic. Yeah, it's weird, like how everything, literally everything spiked up. So you've got a couple of spikes here, and then it drops to like almost 0 searches through the end of summer, through the spring. So it's a bit of a weird one, this. Yeah. It has a bit of a quarter 4 spike and then drops off. Seemingly a bit weird. Let's have a look for just bird seed. Maybe bird food seed's a bit off. Yeah, okay, that's probably a bit better. Pandemic, everyone feeding the birds. I just find that so amazing. So all in all, it's pretty good. You would actually say that it's up since 2019. So the trend is that it's actually, albeit very small, it's still up slightly on what it was. You were looking at 29, and then more recently you're looking at 29, 31. Okay, it's much the same. It kind of had a little spike up and then went down. But you can see it sort of sells all year round. It's not massive. It is more niche than, say, storage. But if we took that as, okay, so pet food in general as a search term, bang. It's, it's very, very on point all year round. Let's take something else. Great opportunity. Hand washes. So bath and body is really good in general. Hand wash going to have a massive spike in the pandemic. Yeah, standard. But as you can see, it's kind of like a fairly, I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's fairly constant. You're getting people selling it. So if you went like bath and body as a kind of search term, yeah, it's on the increase. Great opportunities. Big spike at Christmas time because you get a lot of bath and body gift sets. So this is kind of like a good example of something that you should be listing all year round that has a great potential to sell well at Christmas time. So a lot of people always ask me about, seasonal stuff and when's it a good time to list Halloween decorations, or when's it a good time to list Christmas products, for example, okay, or things for Christmas. And I always say to them, I don't really like searching for specifically Christmas products or specifically Easter products or specifically Halloween products. And let me explain just a little bit about how I do things and how I see this works. So I say to them, if I'm searching in the subcategories or the parent categories of where these products will be listed every single day. So let's say, for example, if I'm scanning and listing from the beauty category every single day and I'm picking up these bath and body gift sets, which are available all year round. It just seems to be that they're promoted more at Christmas time because people buy these as part of Christmas gifts. But if you're actually scanning these categories all year round, you're going to already have a ton of these products on your store. The chances are you'll already have some traction on your store. So the chances are you will make more sales on those products that you already have listed rather than someone that's just starting in September, October, November to start to list these bath and beauty gift sets and things like that. Now, this is just one example. Similarly, with any kind of Christmas decorations or any kind of Halloween decorations, Easter, whatever, you name it, if I'm searching and listing products, let's say whether it be Locator, whether it be Zik Analytics, whether it be, just listing random products from random categories. Naturally, if I'm casting my net wide in a home decor subcategory, or even just home and kitchen, home and garden, whatever, as sellers start to list or start to send in their seasonal products into Amazon, or as Robert Diaz or George start to list their winter products, their seasonal products, their Halloween products, their Christmas products, whatever. If you're just naturally scanning and listing those products, you're going to find that they're going to be on your store already. And I don't mean, the specific Christmas tree or Christmas lights or whatever. I'm talking about the bath and body sets, the deodorant sets, the candle sets, the fragrance sets, the other smaller gifts that people pick up, the toys and games. Naturally you should be listing toys and games all year round, and then then they're going to spike at Christmas time. If you're listing from the bath and body category, you're doing okay all year round, and then bang, Christmas time, Q4 starts to go up, and you can see it. It's a rising category. Anything like that, I can't think of more things, but that's just one of those things. I mean, laundry supplies as well. Again, you got to be thinking. This is the other thing that I think is, does it have a chance to sell all year round, and is it search terms, laundry supply, laundry supplies. That should be. You got to be thinking: does the product have potential to sell all year round? Does it have to be seasonal? Is it something that people are going to need all year round? That's another good way to look at it when you're sourcing a product. And like I say, very black and white example is you're not going to be listing Christmas trees in August. You're not going to be listing paddling pools in October, because the chances are it's not going to, it might sell, but it's probably not going to be. Baby categories, beauty categories, home and kitchen, all that kind of stuff should sell all year round. Not too sure why that's not coming up. Laundry supply is kind of like a really loose term, although it seems to have randomly enough, a big spike right around this time now in Google Trends. And it's showing, right now is a good thing to be looking at on eBay. So I don't know, that's just weird. The statistics don't lie. eBay saying a lot of people are searching for it. Google's actually saying randomly from the end of March to basically today's date, a lot of people are searching for laundry supplies. One to keep your eye on, maybe. Who knows? Okay, so you get the idea. Terrapeak's here. eBay are here to help us. They want us to sell products because they want to make money. It's as simple as that. You can go through here and you can find loads of stuff. I mean, I looked for pet food, but you would be probably searching for, specific animals like dog food, cat food, cat products, whatever it is. All these stuff just shows, travel accessories. Okay, here's another good one before we kind of move on. Most people tend to travel in the summertime. So this is a weird one. Travel accessories. Big spike there, Q4. Kind of good all year round. I was expecting more sort of spikes around sort of when the summer was coming in. So the end of August it drops. That's fine. Then we can see it drops in July. So you might have to be more specific, but all in all, most of the year round, that's actually selling. I would have expected, honestly, a bit more of an increase. Let's say suitcase. People buying suitcases and things like that. Okay, suitcase is just naturally on the rise, probably because we've got the end of tooth. Probably here because this is the only one that the pandemic doesn't give a spike for. It has a massive drop because obviously no one was going on holiday, and then obviously we're back up again. So I mean, suitcases, luggage, things like that's probably a good one to start looking at. Coming into May time, schools are going to start getting off. People are going to go away on holiday, and this kind of, insect repellent here. Again, all the kind of moisturizers, sun cream, anything like that. But like I say, you don't want to go online. You don't want to list a load of, suitcases. Basically, you want to pick sort of the best-selling ones. Maybe pick 5 or 10. Maybe go into other travel accessories and things like that, and start listing 5, 10 of those products. You don't want to list hundreds of the same stuff in your store, but you want to listen to the stats. You want to basically look at those stats and say, okay, the numbers don't lie. People are searching for these things, and most of these things we're going to be able to get on our suppliers, because you can be sure other retailers will be doing the same research. They'll be saying, okay, what are people searching for on these other marketplaces, and what can we list? What can we buy? What's selling well on Amazon? I mean, I know I think I mentioned it in the last video, if I was a big retailer, I'd want to be seeing what people are buying in other places, what people are buying in other countries, other parts of the UK, the USA, wherever you may be selling your products. When to load up the store with our suitcases, and when to stop buying that, when to start listing our Christmas trees and whatever else. So, think about yourself as a business, not just as some guy or girl that's just drop shipping. If you want to grow big and scale big, you got to start thinking like that you are a business, or you're going to become a business, because that's what other businesses do, and use the information in front of you. So got our Terrapeak, we've got our Google Trends, and also any of those other things that I was talking about in the first video, like the locators and the bestseller auto listers, things like that, are going to help you. The more information, the more data that you have, the better the educated decision you can make on where to list from what types of products. So it's not necessarily about what products you need to specifically list, like a single product, but you've got to start thinking about the wider, bigger picture, the product categories, the subcategories and things like that. And really it's a numbers game, okay? You're not going to list the suitcase and think, okay, just because it's made, the suitcase is going to sell. You're going to probably need to list multiples of that suitcase. So you've got to just play it smart, play to your limits on eBay, and it is a numbers game at the end of the day, but the data is in front of you. The data is there. You just got to look for it. Asking people, what should I list, very often gets met with a brick wall, because number one, the people that are doing really well don't want to tell you what products are doing really well for them, okay? So they're not going to tell you specific products. The other people are just going to ignore you, and then there's going to be some people that are going to tell you to, use, Zik Analytics or whatever. They're not going to tell you how to use it or what to do or what's inside their head and why do they make decisions or not. So you're better trying to figure out, based on the information that you have in front of you, basically. So let's move on to the next part. Okay, so we're going to have a look at Zik Analytics. So Zik Analytics is the tool for eBay product research. There is just, I don't even know if there is anything else, but there was other tools. They were never as good. Zik Analytics is the one that you need in tandem with everything else that I've spoke about, okay? Everything that we have on Salefreaks is brilliant. It will take you to a level, and it has taken me to multiple different levels because I use everything that's available to me on Salefreaks. If it's there and it finds me a product, I use it. Simple as that. And I might get really good products, I might get some subpar products, but the reality is consistency and scaling and increasing your numbers leads to bigger sales. It's as simple as that. Anybody that tries to tell you different is just wrong. Whether that be growing one store, growing multiple stores, the more listings that you have across however many stores, doesn't matter how many stores it is, doesn't matter if it's 1 store, 2 stores, 3 stores, 10 stores with a lot of smaller listings. The reality is the more listings you have, the more products you have up for sale, the better you will do, the more money you will make, the more revenue that you will generate for your business. So there's obviously a lot of other factors that come into play. You don't want to just list any old crap, which is why I'm back to all you can do is make the best educated guess using, I'll say it again, all the tools that are in front of you and all the data that you can possibly get your hands on. And this isn't like crunching crazy numbers or anything like that. This is literally looking at the information that the marketplace is providing you, the suppliers providing you with their reviews, their star counts and all this kind of stuff. And then tools like Zik Analytics really help us pull a lot of this stuff together. And the beauty about Zik Analytics is it's great for product research, but it's also great for targeting other drop shippers. Okay, so we can see what they're selling and we know that they're drop shipping the product, so we know that we're going to have access to buying this product. So if we reverse back a little bit and we look at the Terrapeak research and we look at the stuff that eBay has given us, if we go into those categories in further detail, we're going to find a lot of sellers that are either wholesale sellers, they're selling one-off, they're selling from their home, whatever. Like I mentioned in the first video, we want to compete with other drop shippers only, the products that we know we can drop ship, we know we can compete with in price, and we know we can optimize and create unique listings which will make us better than them and sell more products than them. So if we go into Zik Analytics, we can see the dashboard here. And we can see again, we have a lot of information. So starting from the bottom right hand corner, we actually have the up and coming events. So it tells us various events in the calendar that we can start to be prepared for. This is saying 113 days until autumn winter preparations. That is like 100 days. Just doesn't seem like an awful lot. So it's like, it's almost going to be, summer is just going to pass us by, and Q4 is going to be upon us again, where we're going to make all these sales. So this, if you're really looking to take your business to the next level or even start your dropshipping business, there's never a better time to start. But the fact that you can come in now and you can build your store for Q4 and really reap the rewards of that and then basically go again is massive. So This tells us upcoming events. It also tells us trending keywords for those up and coming events. Okay, and this is based on tons and tons and tons of amalgamated information from both the marketplaces, the suppliers, and everything. So we can see the stuff that people will be looking for going forward. Okay, going forward is just as important as the stuff that's working right now or in the last 30 days. So you always got to be thinking ahead, but you always got to be thinking about what works right now as well. And the more you start to understand that, the better you will be. Okay, so moving back across to the top left, we've got the trend niches. So this tells us the trend in niches in the last 30 days by revenue and success rate in the past 30 days. So click on any of the suggested keywords to analyze them in the product research tool. Now, this is telling us the sort of top 3 fire categories at the minute. And I mean, you would think this was set up, okay? Based on what we've just looked at on the eBay Terrapeak, we've seen like storage and coat hangers, and then we went in and we seen that stuff works really, really well, and we can see now that is saying the exact same right here. We can see dog harness. We knew the pets were good. We knew that, solar LEDs, it's again in the garden niche. We can also click on the revenue and see by top revenue, okay? So those fire ones, I think, are based on everything. So it's based on the keyword, based on the revenue, based on success rate and all the rest of it. You can just search for revenue. We've got car care cleaning. Again, I was saying don't worry too much about the actual cars, but if people for searching for stuff like that, car parts, accessories, and things like that work. Smartwatch, okay, we're probably not going to sell too many smartwatches. Bedding, fitted double sheets. I mean, I said about the wider kind of home category being good. Swimming pools, now's the time. Bird feeding food. We looked at it. Oil-filled radiator, okay. So, I mean, that's probably going to start trending out now. So you got to think what's going to trend in and what's going to trend out. So the oil-filled radiator, probably people buying it because it's been a bit cooler. Hopefully it'll start getting a bit warmer. That might be something that you might want to kind of avoid. As a drop shipper anyway, it's a big, heavy, clunky item, probably quite expensive. You'd probably be avoiding it anyway. Soft rug again, home item. Folding barbecue grill, again, come to the right time of year. Gazebo shelter, bed sheets again, coffee table. Dumbbell set, again, quite heavy, might avoid it. Mobile phone holder. We talked about it. We talked about the accessories. James Well Beloved, I have no idea what that would be. So we talked about the solar lights. Single wall cardboard boxes. It's storage, it's there, all this stuff, if you use all this stuff, if you use one thing to think, right, what might work, you use something else to kind of confirm it, and then you use this, and it's like, it's a sealed deal. In your head, you've got to be thinking, like, what more confirmation do you need that these categories, subcategories, and then the specific product would actually work? This is why you don't need to ask the questions. If you know how to do it yourself, and you start thinking this way, there's no end to the amount of products that you can list and scale with. I've said it once, I'll say it again. The beauty of dropshipping is we don't need to buy all the products and then hope that they sell. All we need to do is make a best calculated guess, list the products, and hope that a certain percentage of those products sell in order to bring us enough revenue in that it's making us a profit. The stuff that doesn't sell, it's not like it's sitting in a box, gathering dust, it's taking out cash flow, it's something that we might have to liquidate or get rid of for less than what we paid for it. We can just remove it from our store, or we can think about optimizing it. We can think about removing it, optimizing it, listing it again. Because if we deemed the product half decent in the first place, it might just be that it didn't rank well first time round, or maybe it wasn't just quite the right time of year or the right product or whatever. But once we start learning these things, we get better at it, and then we start knowing not only what to list, but also what to avoid and when to avoid it. So we can run right the way through this list if we want to, but as you can see, I mean, it's fairly, I mean, Christmas lights is trending, 4-foot Christmas trees trending over the last 30 days. You know, couple of curveballs in there. We see bag for man again, you know, comes under like kind of accessory storage, things like that. You know, a lot of this stuff is a lot of stuff that can sell all year round as well, and a lot of the stuff is stuff that, you know, especially at the higher end, you know, it just gives us a lot of positive confirmations from the other things that we've looked at, the Terrapeak sourcing insights and the Google Trends. You know, just absolutely perfect. Over on the right hand side, we can see some advanced tools. Over on the left hand side, we can see trending dropshippers. Okay. And we'll come back to both of these, but let's have a look. We also can see the trending eBay products in the last 7 days. Okay. At the top of Zik Analytics, we can change from eBay to Shopify, WooCommerce, and even Amazon is coming. We can check all the different regions of eBay in case we thought, okay, something will translate well from one market to the other. We can also tell them that our business model is dropshipping. We could also look at arbitrage. We could also look at wholesale to see if any of those wholesale products are actually coming up on the suppliers that we could find. We could look at brand owner, we could look at resale. So really, we can look at all of these and see, is there any products that are on here that are doing amazingly well that we could find on our supplier's website, basically. Arbitrage and wholesale are going to be much the same. As you can see, there's a couple of different things there. So, I mean, there's nothing stop us to look and see. You know, even in wholesale, these are CJ dropshipping items or Alibaba items. So, I mean, we can still source them. Alibaba, okay, it's a wholesaler. We could still source and dropship these products if we wanted to. If we really wanted to find them, or we could probably find them on AliExpress. Again, double-walled storage box, cardboard boxes, you know, it's... Everything that I'm saying here is no coincidence, okay? You know, I've opened this video up, I've started looking at things, and everything just reaffirms and confirms what I have been saying. And that's when you really start, it really starts to click in your head, and you really start to think, okay, stop getting bogged down in, you know, picking one product, specific niches here and there. Cast your net wide, list from the whole subcategory, and your winners will basically appear. Your winning products, the products that'll sell, start to appear. So if you start to use all these things for inspiration and then just focus on the categories that work and the subcategories that work and are doing well at this point in time, you just won't go far wrong. The amount of times that I sat at the beginning thinking, oh, I think this will sell, I would buy this looks really cool, and it never sold anything. It was only until I started thinking, right, okay, I'm just going to list everything and see what starts to sell, and then start looking for more of the same stuff. So we can see all our trending products, we can go through, we can look at all these products, we can also scan all these sellers. So I mean, every person that's selling these products, we can also scan. So you got to think, if you've got someone that's selling a lot of product and they're on trending, you know, they're on the trending page, you got to think, okay, maybe they're good at finding other products too. So, I mean, this person here has 54 successful listings. Not the most amazing store. Listing mostly, I think, from Alibaba, maybe CJ Dropship and things like that. But he's still got 1,200 listings. You know, average price of 15, pretty decent. This is the beauty about it. You're sourcing from AliExpress, you're sourcing from Amazon. I mean, we should be doing both, realistically, but that's how you find your AliExpress items. You go on there, you scan and sell, you rip all their 54 successful items, you list them to your store, you move to your next seller. I'm not going to go through all the ins and outs of how to use Zik Analytics because, again, I'll go through it. Zik Analytics has some amazing libraries of how, you know, how they do things, and I want this more to be about you having the ideas and you having the ability to go on and use everything that's in front of you. So we got the seller here, he's got 35,000 active listings, 2,000 are successful, and he's doing 70k revenue. What do you see here? He's got 35,000 listings. He only needs 2,000 of those to be successful to get almost 70,000 in sales. A lot of his items are from Amazon. We can see it's Amazon by the little Amazon symbol here. And sometimes this will be from Amazon as well. It just won't show as Amazon because the other beauty about optimizing your titles is it'll make it harder for people to find your products. If you have an optimized title and you search it on Amazon, it can be more difficult to find that product. So again, we will do another video on, the beauty of AI optimization and where it comes in really handy to make your listing unique, and sometimes it's harder to snipe. Often when people snipe you as well, they'll snipe your listing, but they'll not take your title. They'll just list the product with a supplier title, which means it's way harder to compete with. But you get the idea. Perfect example of it being a numbers game. He's listed 35,000, nearly 36,000 products. And he's thinking, do I need them all to be successful? Absolutely not. He needs less than almost 5%, 6% of his items are actually selling. He's got 466,500 feedback, and he's doing 70 grand of sales. Now, you'll look into some of these people, they might not be drop shipping, they might be a wholesale or whatever else. But look, again, the numbers don't lie. You want to make big revenue, you gotta have big amount of listings. Are they all gonna sell? No. This tells us that exactly here. You're just not gonna get all of them to sell. Would you like 70k in revenue? I bet you would. Even my goods store at the minute is doing about 30 to 40 grand revenue as one of the biggest ones. It can do double that, treble that, sometimes in months in Q4. It has between 40, 50, 60,000 listings on it at any one time. This is just where you need to be. And your cost to do so is not going to be scaling in line. If it cost him too much to list 35,000 items and earn 70 grand of revenue, if the profit he was making here wasn't enough to cover all his costs, he wouldn't be doing it. The feedback score alone tells us that he has been in here for the long term. He sells 6,000 items a month. He's got, nearly 500,000 of feedback, and only 1 in 5, 1 in 6 people leave feedback. So he's probably made a couple of million worth of sales. If it wasn't, if he wasn't making any money, he wouldn't be doing it. It's as simple as that. And that's the way you've got to think about it. Any business has running costs. If you stay at the bottom and have 200, 300 listings, the percentage of your operational cost is still going to be the same. You're still going to be paying the same percentage of outgoings as you would be if you scale up. So just because that number is bigger, the percentage of your cost to list, cost to sell, cost to operate your business is going to be the same. It's going to be in and around the same percentage. It's just going to mean you're going to do bigger numbers, you're going to have bigger outgoings, but you're going to have bigger profits. And that's what people really don't get when they start doing eBay dropshipping. They just don't see that. And they feel that if they're not making much money with 200 listings, then they're not going to make much with 2,000 listings or 20,000 listings. It's not the case, especially if you put all this stuff into practice like I'm telling you. So with all these people that are listing good products, you can just scan them, you can take their products, you can find similar products, whatever it needs to be. Trending dropshippers the last 30 days, here's like a ton of people. You can just go in and you can scan their store and list products that they list. You just copy them flat out. You don't even need to think about, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? You just flat out take it, list it to your store. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Here's another person here, 37,000 in revenue, 1,500 successful listings out of 21,500 listed, average price of £10. If he's making 10% here, it's nearly 4 grand profit. Okay, he might have some software costs and things like that. He's still going to be making more than the average salary in the UK and probably doesn't even do it full time. 33,000 feedback means he's probably done over 100,000 in sales. If it wasn't profitable, wouldn't be doing it. It just wouldn't have scaled to that level. Let's have a look at another one. 54,000 in sales, 25,000 in listings. Look, comment on the video, message. I challenge anyone to find me a seller that's doing 30, 40, 50k without having 10, 20, 30,000 plus listings. It's just not going to happen. More listings equals more revenue. You will not, if you went out and found the best 500,000 items that were trending really well, the reality is you'll still not be selling anywhere near the successful percentage that you need to in order to make that revenue, because that's how eBay works. They want to give everyone a piece of the pie. So they're not, even if you had 25,000 of the best selling items, you hand-picked them, hand-optimized them, you're still only going to get at most 10-20% of those items that sell. This person, nearly 200,000 feedback. They've probably done over 1 million single transactions. Again, if it wasn't profitable, they just wouldn't be doing it. It'd just be madness. This is like years and years worth of feedback, years and years of sale earnings like this. 500,000 of sales at least, because this is a slow time of year. He's probably doing 80, 90, 100,000 in October, November. So look, these are all your trending dropshippers. Easy to find them, easy to find their products. As a dropshipper, you should be targeting the smaller sellers, probably, that you can compete better with price. 26,000 of earnings. This person has only 9,000 listings. So again, close to the 10,000. Still a good store. Still brilliant. Even lower successful listings. So I mean, in reality, there, you've got to list 10,000 items to get 6-7% success. So it just shows you, you got to. It is a numbers game. The numbers don't lie. As always, the sale earnings are here. Is he making about $2,000 profit? Yeah, probably. You can go into great detail. You can see what profit margins people are actually selling at. You can work it out based on the buy price on Amazon, the sell price that they're selling at, less your eBay fees and all that kind of stuff. I don't get into all that. I get into list the items at the prices that I want to sell them at with the profit margins and the break-evens that I want, and let the good products come to life. Let the good products shine. You can always move your prices up and down. You don't always have to be the cheapest to sell it. Being the most expensive, you'll still make sales. Even at the cheapest, you might not make the sales. So it's not worth really going into that much detail. So you've got this, and then you've got other tools. You've got the bulk scanner. You've got 500 best sellings on eBay. You've got the Ali Growth Scanner, the Turbo Scanner, and the Autopilot. So what we're going to do is have a quick look at these things as well. So again, just all about using the tools that are available to you now. The advanced tools, some of these are only available on the advanced subscriptions, whereas everything else I've spoken about is available just as standard. Okay, so the bulk scanner, this is for whenever you start to build up a list of the best sellers, and then you can scan their stores in full. So rather than going through picking their products one by one, you can set a criteria and you can scan up to 5 of these sellers at once. It's been a little while actually since I've done this, so I think you just click add to multi-scanner. You can select your minimum price, you can select your minimum profit. Again, I keep this very low for the fact of Amazon prices or suppliers prices change, people's profit margins change and fluctuate in eBay. I just want to grab everything, list it at my price. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, I'll look at it afterwards, I'll remove it, I'll optimize it, whatever. Minimum sales, you can put in a minimum sales criteria that you want for a specific price range, etc. Source website, date range, prime only, and then you can put in a folder name or create a new folder. Create the scan and it bangs it across into a folder for you. You can see this one's finished here, and we can then go and look at those products. Super easy. Super easy. So to add a supplier to your bulk scanning list, you just got to go and scan the supplier. I'll just close all these other windows now. So you can just click on add to watch list, and if that person wasn't already in my scan, it would just say add to bulk scanner. So that's what the bulk scanner does. 500 best selling items on eBay. As you can see here as well, you've got a training video on each of these sections. So, Zik Analytics, they own the software, they created the software. They're in the best position to give a lot more training on this video. Like I say, I'm not specifically talking about how to use Zik Analytics in this video. I'm just showing you there's so many ways for you to list products, find products, be better than 90% of other people there that are just faffing around, and not really moving too far, doing much, but expecting all the results. So you can see top selling products. Is there anything in here that we can potentially look for? Any subcategories we can look for? To be honest, I don't think this is overly great, but it gives you a good idea of what's selling really well, and you can maybe see, can I find similar products on, you know, our supplier's website. The Ali growth scanner, I'll come back to it, and I'll go to the turbo scanner. So the turbo scanner is amazing if you want to really start pushing forward on your store, and that's, by pushing forward I mean listing 2,000, 3,000 plus items a month. You can find enough to list here in a single click. So you can click our supplier. If you're looking on amazon.co.uk, you can see here for the eBay US market or international market, we can do Amazon and we can do Walmart. So again, Walmart's super good if you're listing from Walmart, which we can do. We can select the rating, so I want 4 stars and above. If I'm really going crazy heavy bulk, I might drop it to 3, because 3-star products are still pretty decent. You can have number of reviews. I want the item to at least have a couple of reviews at, you know, a decent level, so that I know it's not just a brand new product, because you want it to have some sort of history at least, especially even when you're bulk scanning. You're maybe not worried too much about some of the other really niche criteria, so we want to at least knock off a few of the bad products. We can select our category. We can select all, or we can select a specific type of category. So for me, this one's pretty good as well. If you want to like kind of cast your net wide, that's great. So I would go select all, and then maybe remove things like Amazon devices, maybe the clothing kind of stuff, maybe the grocery kind of stuff, just in case we get some alcohol, like I mentioned in the previous video. Although it's, you know, most of the Vero blockers should block that out, and grocery you can find some good products as well. So there is a bit of a use case for that. But let's say, you know, that's where we're at. We can click on save. We can scan those categories. Okay. We can say if we want to include books and include DVDs and CDs, why not? You know, they might sell. We can have bestseller ranking on here. I mean, I would just have that like min to max, so the best to the worst, and let the ratings and the reviews do the rest for us. You can have a minimum sales in the last 30 days. Now, this is slightly different. So if you're sniping a single seller, I would prefer the sales of that single seller to be selling maybe 3 to 5, 3 or more for higher priced items, and maybe 5 or more for lower priced items. This is the 30-day sales based on whoever's selling it, so it's collectively. So you could put this a little bit higher. You could have this at like 10 sales, for example. Now, when you're bulk listing, the narrower the criteria, the less results you will naturally get. So if you're looking to grow your store to 25, 30,000, 35,000, 45,000 listings, you might be listing thousands of products, and maybe only 5, 6, 7, 10, 15, 20 of those products of the thousands will actually sell. But as you can see from the previous sellers, that's normal. Do you know what I mean? You know, if you've got 25,000 items and 2,000 are successful, you got to remember that is normal. And knowing what normal is actually helps you become better. So don't stress too much about it. You can look at a price range. You know, I've got 15 to 200 pounds max in here. Let's widen that up a bit. Let's go 7 to 250. And the max, I think, products you can scan for is 10,000. But let's just put, yeah, it's 10,000. 9,999 is the max, I think. Oh, that's odd. But anyway, I think it's 10,000 max. Let's have a wee look. It doesn't tell us. So because I've scanned before, I'm going to delete these previous scans, because if I do a second scan, which it reads here, it won't give me the same products twice, so it avoids duplication. So if you've got the scan sitting below and you do another scan, it'll not give you the same products for the second time if they're already in a previous scan. So it's better if you're doing this once every now and again, just to delete the old scans. Okay, bang, let's give us 10,000 products. So we've used a really wide criteria. That's banged us back 10,000 products. Let's have a look. over here and see. You can see the speed of that as well. I didn't pause the video, didn't do anything with it. Bang. They're in the Zik Analytics database. And yes, there's a lot of other Zik Analytics users using these products. But like I say, we don't have to be the only one selling it. We don't have to be the cheapest. You know, we want to list volume and get a percentage of success. We can see the category these have been listed in or selling from. And we can see how many sales that they're making overall. Okay, and we get the ace in here. So the beauty about this is we can export all these items and we can list them directly on our store using Salefreaks, Salefreaks Locator or Salefreaks Listing Wizard, or just import them. We might just have to tidy up the CSV file, for example. This will give us a lot more information. We just remove everything that isn't the ASIN in the title. We also have the option to export these direct to our Salefreaks store via an API key. So no downloading CSV files, get them straight across. If you don't want to optimize them or do anything with them, you can just upload. You can export obviously there, the CSV file, or you can upload all. And you can choose your lister, which is Salefreaks. You can choose the store. You can choose the title source. If you want to take the eBay title or you want to take the Amazon title, that's fine. If you take the eBay title, you might get some ready optimized titles. You can select your marketplace and you can exclude Vero brands or exclude restricted keywords. Now, if you select these, it does take a little bit longer. If you want, you can just not tick these, send them to Salefreaks, and we'll do the blocking on the same level anyway, if not actually at a higher level with our brand protection database. However, if you want, you can just export all to a CSV file. You can also take these in batches. You can go down and hand select them, but if you're doing bulk, you may as well get them all across and then choose how many you want to list when they get to the other side or off the CSV file. So as you can see, super powerful. Let's just return to the scans and let's delete this one, and let's say at this point in time, what we want to look at is home and garden. We want to look at beauty. We want to look at luggage. You know, let's say we've looked at some of those categories on Amazon or on eBay Trends, Google Trends, and we're only looking to list in these various categories. Okay, and let's click garden and outdoors as well. Let's click on save, and let's say we weren't going for just a huge bulk, but we wanted, you know, the best of the best, and we only wanted items that were like 15 to 50 quid or whatever, and we wanted them to be 4-star and above, and we wanted them to be minimum 10 reviews, for example. We start the scan, it's pending, so it takes a little bit longer, and bang, we've got 496 products at the click of a button. We've went more niche, we've went higher criteria, much higher criteria, and a much narrower price range, and we've still got 496 products that we can list to our store today. Some of these will fail with Vero, duplication, not available on Amazon, out of stock, something like that. But, you know, but we're probably going to get a good 100 to 300 products listed out of these 500 here. Let's have a look, and you know, bang, we've got a ton of different, really well ranked, high sell-through rate, good bestseller ranking on Amazon, good review count from the categories that we want to list in today, being springtime, and what's, you know, based on what we've looked at on Terrapeak and what we've looked at on Google Trends. So absolutely amazing. Again, with Zik, there's a ton of different videos to find out how to use the software and whatever else. But as you can see, there's not with those things, not an awful lot to really consider. It's super straightforward. Let's have a look at the autopilot. Very similar. Very similar to what we have before. As you can see, my previous scans, I got 690 at AliExpress items, and I got 2,894 UK. I think it was just Amazon, it must have been. So let's just delete those, like I said before. Let's start a new scan. Let's give it a name. For this one, we give it a name. So that's April 24 again. Let's call it April 24 too. Choose a supplier. Again, you can choose AliExpress, you can choose Walmart, Amazon.co.uk, Amazon.com. So again, super beneficial. for what we're doing. Again, you can click your categories. The previous one that I had was, various different stuff. I just took off the stuff that I don't really overly like listing from. But you can choose. I'm not going to go through and select any niche. Again, you've got similar information here. With this one, it does give you a little bit more of an option. You've got your minimum ROI, you've got your competition. So if you wanted to say, okay, I don't want anything more than 10 competitors on the listing. If you think of competition as well, when you search eBay, you've probably got about 10 people on the list when you do a search, especially if you search for something very, very specific. So you're trying to make sure that you're on the first couple of pages by going for low competition. And obviously there's more chance of someone clicking your product. But, again, this is probably something if you're in your kind of first couple of thousand listings and you want to really keep the quality low and you want to keep the quality high. Your listings are low, your maybe seller limits are low, and you're just learning. Whereas when you get to the stage where you're listing, 25, 30,000, 40,000 items, you shouldn't really give a damn about how many competitors are on there, because all you're looking to do, again, is get a percentage of those listings that sell. You've got your sales. So if we're going for something maybe higher criteria, let's go 7 sales and above. Again, let's say minimum price 15 to say £99. ROI I don't really care about, because again, I'm going to list it at my price. I'm going to list it, if it sells, it sells. It doesn't, it doesn't. I can adjust the price after. I'd rather have the item being a good seller and then let the prices, worry about the prices, rather than trying to go for really high ROI when, prices fluctuate so much. You could be missing out on great opportunities, basically. So I don't really care. Minimum sell-through rate, 10 minimum. You put this, honestly, I just don't really care about the sell-through rate, because it can really fluctuate from seller to seller. Success, minimum 1,000 to 10,000. Basically, I just want to see, has it sold? Is it successful in any way? And then you can change your date range with this, so you can reduce it if you're really looking to niche in, your last 21 days, for example. And you can include similar items. So you can either include the items that sell and meet all this criteria, or you can use it to find similar items as well. When you're looking for bulk and when you're looking to really scale up, and a lot of people get misconstrued with what bulk listing is. Bulk listing doesn't need to be listing 500, 1,000 items a day. Bulk listing is basically building up towards where your store is going to be 25,000, 50,000 items plus. If you're listing 100 items, 200 items a day, you're going to very, very quickly, within 3-4 months, get to 25,000, 30,000, 40,000 listings if you keep doing that. You don't need to find 5,000 items a day. You need to find 100, 200, 300. We've just proven with everything that we've done here, and the first video as well, we can find 100, 200, 300 items a day, every single day, consistently, and get them listed to our store and scale up. That's really what you should be doing. So let's create a scan. And it's completed already. It's only found 4 products. Okay, we did go super, super niche. Let's delete it. Let's start again. Let's go with 5 sales. Let's include similar items, and let's go 10 to 99. And let's see what that brings us up with. That one's pending. Yeah. Okay, so just tweak the criteria a bit more, and I've now suddenly got 1,100, nearly 1,200 items. Super, super easy. Okay, so now we've got a situation where we've got our similar items. I'm not going to look at all these in great detail. I can already see some of them, they're similar based on keywords, based on maybe certain text on the listing. And we can see the sell-through rate. So again, if you're looking to list bulk, there's 1,200 items. You could be listing these, 100, 150 a day over the space of a week, and then go back in and scanning again. So it's all about using everything that is available to you. There is no shortage. Yes, you have to pay for these packages, but I can tell you right now, I've paid for Zik Analytics' highest package for the past 4 or 5 years. The return on investment of using everything that's in front of you is massively outweighs the cost of these things as a business cost to your business. So for me, if I'm an online business, paying for these softwares is like paying for broadband. It's like paying for electricity. It's just something that you need. It's not something that's a luxury. As a new dropshipper, yes, you can start off with not paying any extra. You can get by with just what's available on Salefreaks, what's available just by hand sniping other dropshippers, which I showed you how to do in the first video. But if you want to get to the next level, you gotta spend some money. You gotta invest in your business. You know, like I say, it's the exact same as just paying a utility bill or something like that. You wouldn't think about not buying broadband or paying a mobile phone subscription, for example. That Zik Analytics is the same for a dropshipper. Should be non-negotiable. It should just be like, you require an oxygen as a dropshipper. You require Zik Analytics, or you require to be paying someone that does product research using Zik Analytics. You know, using their own package, paying them to do all the, you know, the services, and that's what I do. I pay a VA, and they do all the research. They're creating me all the product folders and everything, and I'll show you exactly what they're doing. They're using the bulk scanner. They're using everything. They're using everything. So we got the Ali growth scanner. I said I'll come back to that. So this basically tells us all the best stores in AliExpress and all the best products that they're selling, okay? So if you're struggling again to find products from AliExpress, what we want to do is we want to look at the stores with the highest feedback that are making the most sales and find the products that are working well in those stores. It's as simple as that. We can scan the seller and we can see the products that sell. Okay, this is a one product store. All he's doing is selling this particular phone charger. So we would just be finding these sellers, finding these products. I'm gonna make separate videos on AliExpress because I'll be honest, I don't have enough experience yet from selling stuff from AliExpress. But again, it's very, very similar to eBay. You know, you find products and categories that are selling well and you list them based on those criteria. Okay, so very, very quickly, I'm just going to show you a few more things in regards to Zik Analytics before we kind of wrap this one up. So the main one that I want to show you is my products. So this is basically what you can do is you can go through and make folders. So every single day we are making folders on Zik Analytics, and we've got the ASIN, we've got the image, we've got the title, we've got the price, we've got the potential profit. I'm only really looking for items that are profitable. I don't care if it's zero profit upwards because I'm going to list it at my exact price. We're looking for a minimum of criteria of 3 to 4 sales. We're looking for low competition in these ones. This is where we're hand sniping items from people's stores. We're putting them into a folder. This is for a very specific task of mine, for example. This is growing smaller stores to the point where they're then ready to become bulk stores, okay? So you can also amend your titles in Zik Analytics. So if you want to take the supplier title, you want to put it through ChatGPT or whatever, you want to optimize it before sending it to Salefreaks, you can do. You can upload all. You can use the Salefreaks API as well. So to find the Salefreaks API, you just go into Salefreaks. So you go into Salefreaks, you go into settings, you go into integrations, and you want to copy this personal API token. And then you can click on the Zik Analytics link. So I'm already logged in. And you go over to the management panel. So this is your folder. Obviously, I've kind of explained what that is. So you go into your advanced settings, and you go into your integrations. Okay, and all you need to do is choose the type, Salefreaks, paste your token, pop whatever you want to call it in there, and then connect to Salefreaks, and that will be you connected. And when you send these across, these will automatically go across into your listing generator ready to be listed. So into your listing generator via the listing wizard right down there, and as you can see, you know, let's get rid of any coupon hunter or bestseller auto lister files. Oh, they don't want to disappear. They should disappear. But we can see here Zik request, Zik request, Zik request, Zik request. Like, if you can see this, you know, you can see that I live by, you know, what I say. Okay, so consistency, using all the tools available to you is definitely the key. These products are just coming straight across from Zik Analytics. Then I'm putting them to whatever store I want them to go to. And it's as simple as that. It really is as simple as that. I just can't stress enough about using all the tools that we have available to ourselves. So the other thing about Zik Analytics is they have a big tutorial section. You've got Academy and you've got tutorials. So you can basically see how to use all the various sections on Zik Analytics. And like I say, this wasn't a Zik Analytics tutorial as such. I'm just showing you kind of like the basics of what Zik Analytics does. And a little bit of insight of how to do some of those different features. But if you go into all these, this will tell you so much about what you need to know by the people that have created the software, you know. So you've got the tutorials, and you've also got the Academy. They have, you know, there's VIP Facebook group and that. You've got, you know, all your different product research courses and everything else. So super informative and impressive kind of library of stuff that you're going to need to know. We can do specific Zik Analytics product research webinars and things. We'll probably, you know, get some of those in the next little while. But all the information's there, and a lot of it's not really that difficult. You've got your title builder again. You know, there's videos on this. You search a specific keyword and it'll give you, you know, multiple different, let's go with this. It'll give you multiple different keywords in that category and start to build out your own title, for example. So yeah, the keywords provided, it gives you generic keyword ideas: luggage, suitcase, cabin, travel, trolley. So you can start to build a title out of this. So you could have a hard shell suitcase, and then you could start adding keywords to this. You can see the amount of average searches, you can see the competition, you can see the sales. Okay, so a lot of these, you just got to use the information that's in front of you to do this. Now, obviously, with Salefreaks, you can AI optimize your titles as well, and just by and click of a button, it's done. Like I say, we'll explain more about that in more videos and show you how you can benefit from that. Yeah, you've just got all your different sections of Zik Analytics. Really good tool. You know, again, if you wanted to, you know, if we take Zik Analytics out of the equation again, so if we rewind right back to the start, we forget about Zik Analytics, we're just looking at those trending products, and we want to get more products on their store. You can use the Salefreaks Chrome extension. Like I said, a lot of this is about the best calculated guess on the best products, okay? So Zik Analytics will tell us what's selling well. The reality is anyone drop shipping from Amazon to eBay, there's always going to be the first person listing the product, okay? So if it wasn't for someone listing the product, we wouldn't know what sells, and we wouldn't be able to snipe these drop shippers and sell their products and mirror their products onto our stores, okay? So although it's not best practice to just be the first person to list all the products, if we kind of take a look at, let's say, you know, we search for storage and organization, we can see that Terrapeak says storage and organization is good. Google Trends shows the storage and organization is good. There's a lot of products on these pages. The number one might be amazing products that have no competition yet and haven't sold, but have a great chance to sell based on the information that we already have. And number two, a lot of these products, based on all that information, people will already be listing. So therefore you can essentially take the kind of product research out of it, because you're kind of betting that if you've ticked the other boxes and you're looking at, you know, like I said, the Terrapeak, the Google Trends, you know, putting the customer reviews to 3 or 4, getting your correct price range of where kind of your bread and butter is as a drop shipper, which should be between kind of 0 and 50 quid for the most part. You're going to get the most sell-through rate. In fact, 0 to 20 pounds is where you're probably going to get most sales velocity. However, at 20 pounds plus, you're probably going to make more profit but less sales. So you're going to make a bigger revenue but less sales. So with all that information, you've got your best kind of guess as to the stuff that might work, you know. And if you start adding this stuff using the Chrome extension for Salefreaks, you can just click add. There's 33 products of kind of like the criteria that we want. Now, obviously, I haven't searched it down further in this case, okay, but there's 33 products on a page, okay, and in most pages there's around 30 products per page. We could go into baskets and bins, for example, and we could select our star range, we could select like 10 to 20 pounds range. Let's say 10 to 30 even, get a nice mix of that range. Generally speaking, on the first page, it's going to have the highest ranked products. There's another 33 products added. And you could go down the subcategories very, very easily without very much thought. You can list a lot of items to your store. Now, as a beginner, if you're starting off with a 500 item package or 1,000 items, yes, you do want to search for the highest criteria possible first. But once you get to the stage where you're at 2,000, 3,000 listings and you want a bulk list, there is no harm in taking those niches, those good selling categories, and finding 20, 30 products. You can do the same thing on George. Do you know what? This Ninja Woodfire Grill keeps coming up for me. It's like tempting me to buy it, but it was on sale before, and now it's back to full price. So I can get stuffed until it gets back on sale again, and I can use cash back and everything else. But that's a different story. So if we go to outdoor buildings and storage, or let's see if we've got home accessories and storage with something like this. There's like, probably can't see for looking, but there's like kitchen and food storage. I know they have good storage in here because I was looking and selling a few products in similar categories. Anyway, you get the idea. So you got all your products here. You got food storage, lovely, nice looking products here as well. And they don't look just as dropshippy as Amazon. So if you start filtering in these products into your store, you've got a good chance to sell these products. You can start going in, you can scan these products and list them to your store. Similar with AliExpress, you go in and click on home storage. And if you're taking a couple of things from here, there, and everywhere and listing your store, like I say, you don't have to be successful. So a lot of things that I find when people start using new suppliers is they go, they list 50 products and nothing sells. So they think, that supplier's crap. It's just not the case. As you can see from all these dropshipping stores we're looking at, the amount of successful listings versus the listings they have listed is very small. It is a numbers game, and you will start to find those good products. So you got any amount of stuff there. I had Robert Diaz up on screen there. It's now gone. Same thing, Walmart. No matter where it is, just look for your products that are trending. Try and get the best possible, beducated, new word, your beducated guess as to what will sell well for you. And like I say, you don't even need to sell all the products. You don't need to overthink it whatsoever. So on Zik Analytics as well, 50% off for yearly plans. Or you can start today for $1. You can have a look around it and see what I think it's an absolute must-have, regardless of your level on eBay. To be honest, even as a beginner, I would probably have the beginner package because it just gives you much more, many more options, and it starts to make you realize what's actually working. You start to see the data, and if you can bring data in from everywhere and start to see, right, this matches this, you just learn a lot quicker. I've used this from day one. And I've never cancelled my membership. I've used it from day one. For me, it's just a must-have. So you can use the link in the video to sign up for Zik Analytics, and we plan to bring more content of these types of things. But hopefully, it's a long one, but hopefully it gives you a great insight. This with the first video gives you a great insight of how you can, kickstart your store and then grow it and then bulk and then turn your store into a store that's 25,000, 30,000 items. We see the proof is there that people can do this, and we can see the reality of how many listings they need to make that revenue. So I think understanding that and being able to compare yourself against these stores that you'll start to see in Zik Analytics, whether that be 1,000 item store, 2,000 item store, 5, 10, 50, 100,000 item store, you can pitch yourself against those and say, am I doing as well? Is my revenue the same? And so it's also a great tool just for analyzing your own store and your own progress. So yeah, hopefully that was beneficial for you. The next video after this, I'm going to talk more about like scale and inventory management, when to remove an item from your store, when to think about optimizing it, and so on and so on. So these videos hopefully will keep coming as things evolve. And again, as always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next video. Cheers.